What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Player Ratings. It's me, Dee, and I'm joined by Patrick to discuss the performances from the game. As always, we want to hear from you, so leave down your comments down below and make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. Patrick, let's not waste any time. Palace 1, Brentford 1. Let's start off with the goalkeeper. Of course, he didn't manage to keep a clean sheet in this game. Vicente Guaita, you gave him a 6.5. I gave him a 6. There isn't much for me to add. The only frustrating thing was he kept booting the ball out when he could have just time wasted, and it was frustrating. It was frustrating at times, but apart from that, he didn't have much to do because we were solid defensively until the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, and he did make a big save at the end, so that's why I gave him the extra half a point. But he was okay. He wasn't playing for the goal, so he was fine today. I mean, the time wasting, yeah, in retrospect, maybe, but he was fine today. So
yeah, Kleiny, both gave him a 7. I thought he was very solid. They were attacking down our right hand side, their left hand side, and I believe it's Bueno.
It was Rico Henry really mostly the left back overlapping a lot. Yeah,
but he dealt with it. Yeah, he dealt with it perfectly in this game. Nathaniel Klein. Yep. Maybe he could have done a bit better off going forwards. I can't remember any points of the game where he would contribute going forward, but apart from that, I thought it was a solid performance for him. Both gave him a 7.
Agree. That one. Very solid. Yeah, definitely.
And then with the centre halves, Joachim Anderson, both I gave him a 7, you gave him a 7, and they just hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Mark Gay, we both gave him a 7, and the reason for me giving him a 7 is they frustrated Tony to an extent where Tony in the first half he pushed Joachim Anderson, and in the second half he pushed Mark Gay out of frustration. He had them in his pocket. Of course, we consider a goal, and we're doing this after the game. It's maybe emotions are playing a part. Maybe they could have done a bit better with the goal, especially defending with the back 5. But I thought overall, they were solid. They were solid against Brentford. Brentford didn't cause that many problems, especially.
I agree. Anderson especially frustrated Tony. I noticed that Gay had a 91% accuracy passing. Gay, he really played well today. Game, we don't look back at the goal. It looks like on the goal that Anderson was trying to cover space. Gay was covering Tony, and no one covered Olise. If anybody should have covered it was Tariq Mitchell. So I can't really blame them for the goal, but they were solid again. So but we consider the goal. Yeah. So what can you do?
Talking about left back, we'll be talking about the for ages. And it was Joe Ward this time starting as Tariq Mitchell came off the bench. You gave him a 7. I gave him a 6.5. And the reason for that, Patrick, I don't know if you noticed this as well, but you can see when Miss Mitchell going forwards. When I look at the patterns of play that we had against Aston Villa, where Wilf, Eze, and Tariq Mitchell linking up, in this game, it was easier for Brentford to defend against us because it was just Eze and Wilf. Wardy, he done a solid job defensively at that side, but first of all, he's not a left back. But then you can see he's not a left back by his attacking contribution, which was non-existent. And normally, Wilf has that support from Tariq Mitchell.
Agree, but he had 9 recoveries. He had he won a ground duel. He had 2 headed clearances.
Yes, 100% on his tackling.
No, but I say,
going forward,
there's no doubt.
That's why.
But I'm thinking today, was that a? Do you need to go forward when you have Olise, Eze, Zaha? You probably don't need to go forward that much. It helps, but you don't need it. You know what I mean?
I think we did. I think we did because how Zaha and Olise work is how it worked against Aston Villa is them 3. You saw it with the assist as well from Tariq Mitchell. It's them 3 patterns of play. When you take out the 1 extra player, it's harder to have the overload. Overloads are key, especially trying to break down teams. And today, I don't feel like we had that overload. Yes, we did get in behind a few times down that side, but I feel like it's not Wardy's fault. But I just thought his defensive thing was great. That's why I gave him a 6.5 rather than a 6. But going forwards, it was average. He didn't.
In his defense, though, he's not a natural left back, so you get what you get. I mean, he's played away this year, right back, left back, centre half. So I mean,
it's a game of opinions.
You're right.
I thought he didn't do anything wrong, but he could have done well. He could have done better, but I didn't see much going from forward. That's why I get it.
I hear that.
My man of the match,
mine too.
The Corey, yours too. Hey, you could see, like, we were talking about this when he signed for us, what he's going to contribute. And today pretty much summed it up. Playing out from the back, he's helping the defense, pinging passes forward, progressive passes, solid defensively. Basically, Cheku Kiate, who can also play forward rather than just being solid defensively. He can do both. A proper modern number 6. And today, despite the result, he showed his worth.
He's a defensive midfielder, right?
Yeah.
85% pass accuracy, 2 chances created, 84 touches, 100% long ball accuracy, and an assist. I mean, what more do you want? Seriously.
Exactly.
He's brilliant. And as I said in the
That's
stream
what you
before,
want, though.
this is the first time I've seen him get called for a foul. He's that good of a tackler. He's brilliant. He needs someone next to him to help him out, but the way he drives the ball forward, passes, he breaks the lines, he's brilliant, man. Just give him Eze and another midfielder who's on his same wavelength, and we're going to be cooking. But he was great. Man of the match for me today, for sure.
Yeah. Jeffrey Schlupp, you gave him a 6, I gave him a 5.5. I just felt like today was another game where you're thinking we could do with another midfielder, especially in the first half. I don't know what he really contributed, in all honesty. You could see the way that Brentford was set up, tight, compact, no spacing behind. He just struggled to get into it. And maybe in the second half, it got a bit better. But for me, that's where you can see that's the space that we're missing. I just felt like he was the worst player from the starting 11 anyways, from me. But what do you think about his performance? Am I being a bit too harsh?
I mean, slightly. I mean, for him, he had half the touches that the Corey had. Corey had 84. Schlupp had 42. They're next to each other, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. He had 2 shots, but he had 2 shots on goal. I mean, he did have that shot. He could have scored. Listen, man, I'm with you, D. I never want to kill Schlupp, but the effort's there. He tried to do what Gallagher did last year. He doesn't do it. And I just think that you're right. We need somebody else in there. Was he the worst player on the field at 11 today? I'm going to actually kill my man Mateta. I think Mateta's probably worse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I see. You see.
I think they're both at a similar level. No, you should be thankful because the fact that
I'm not thankful.
Worse.
See, I'm honest. If a player I like doesn't play well, I'm going to give it to him. I'm not going to be biased.
To be fair, look, let me correct that. Mateta and Schlupp, I believe, was on the same level, but my player rating doesn't prove that. That's my mistake. But let's move on to the final midfielder, Eberechi Eze. He's been one of our better players this season, created a lot of chances. But in this game, you could see I feel like he was a bit gassed in terms of like energy. Coming back from injury.
Man City.
He kind of, Man City, playing at Man City, then against, Brentford, and there's a lot of tasks on his plate in terms of what we expect from him. I thought it was a pretty average performance. I didn't see any moments where Eze done anything that he normally does in a football pitch. So, yeah, it was an average performance. Nothing really to talk about from my side of things.
Yeah, expected more. I think that's the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, that Eze, Olise, and Zaha started in the same game. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember last season.
Anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely this season. I remember last season. Yeah. And he was just, it's a shame because, he's had some really good games. It was great on Saturday against Man City. He looks tired. It's going to happen. He's played a lot of minutes, more than he's probably played in the last, 2 years. And he was off it a little bit. He had his chance. Funny thing, I don't know if you probably were watching. Second half, he's driving the ball towards the Holmesdale, had a chance to shoot the ball and didn't shoot. But no one's going to be perfect. But yeah, it was off today for sure. It was off today.
He was most definitely off. And then our star man, the man that we've been talking about all week due to transfers, he came on the pitch today and he said, "What are you talking about? Let me just score a worldie." What a goal from him. And that's the reason why I'm giving him an 8, in all honesty. I don't think he had a bad game apart from the goal, but that goal that's why he's in the side, and that's what separates, I believe, Palace and Brentford, because we got that difference maker. And what a fantastic goal, Patrick. It was just, boy, at the stadium anyways, that just the way it flew into the top bins, it's not easy. It is not easy to score bangs like that.
Nah, fantastic goal. Listen, we talk about, the admin putting up videos of the players. When I watch Wilf do his practice training videos, he's been practicing these all season. That's now 4 goals in 4 matches that he's played in. Like I said, someone said that's the most. He's the 3rd highest goal scorer in the Premier League in the 2022 calendar year behind Harry Kane and Son Heung-min. It's ridiculous. He's playing great. Yeah. Listen, man, I played well. He wasn't great today, but we needed him to step up. He stepped up. Even post-match, man, he stepped up. The anything he gave at this interview, I love that. He stepped up. He was just honest, man. Listen, right?
Yeah. Again, for BT Sport, he just huffed. It's like. So like he just felt like us. He felt the frustration of us.
Exactly.
And I feel for him. This is why I get frustrated. We talked about it on a live match reaction show. Because we have these expectations. These players have these expectations. And the way we drop points at times is just frustrating because Wilf deserves better. And I believe he can get better with Palace. Like we can deliver some type of, even like top half of potential, 7th or 8th finish that might get European sports or, cheeky League Cup run. But we have to be more consistent. But look, today he done his thing. It was the others that pretty much let us down, especially with the goal that we conceded. Olise, first start of the season in the league. I gave him a 6.5. You gave him a 7. He had a he was slow in the first half. He didn't have much to do. In the second half, he got a bit more into the game. He had that shot which hit the post. But the funny thing about it is, Patrick, I think he was average for Olise's performances. Others might disagree. They might think that he had a great game. I feel like there's a bit of rustiness in him. But the fact that this guy is rusty and playing like this, and you can see that he's rusty, that's just funny, because when he's at full form, you can see that the talent this guy has. I mean, he hit the post. If that maybe a few inches closer to the other side, it might have went in. So overall, first game starting, nothing great. The first half wasn't that great, but second half he had 1 or 2 opportunities and it just didn't go in for him.
So, we've talked about doing the play ratings. I always say I like to watch the games back, but that's why I'm saying, having watched the highlights back, I thought he had a very average game. But looking back at the stats, at least, he had the most dribbles completed. He had 4 shots on goal, which I didn't realize he had that many shots.
Yeah,
80% pass accuracy. Well. And watching the game back, I was watching a little bit before we got jumped on here. He got double, triple teamed every time he got the ball. He couldn't do anything, and he still was able to complete the most dribbles, have an accuracy rate, and get 4 shots off. He's definitely rusty, but he was rustier against Oxford than he was today. He's going to get back into the groove. I thought he played well today. Honestly, I think he was unlucky not to score. But like I said, if I watch the game again, I guarantee I'm going to say, oh, wow, he actually had a really good game. But, the first reaction was it was average. But honestly, he played well today. And again, he had a lot to do with the, getting double and triple teamed all match. But he contributed. And again, but for the width of a post, he would have scored the winning goal, or a second goal, sorry.
Yeah. And then finally, with our striker, Philippe Mateta, he started over Edouard today. If you watch Back of the Nest regularly, me and Patrick go at it with our strikers. You gave him a 6, I gave him a 6. It was the most 6 out of 10 type of performance. It was just average. There was nothing for me in his performance, and that's why he got subbed off early in the second half. I know we're going to talk about Edouard. Don't worry. Don't go crazy. We're going to talk about Edouard as well. But Patrick, anything that you want to add apart from average performance? Because you gave him the same rating as me.
No, I mean, he had 2 shots on goal. He did have a shot that was blocked. He did not play well today, so I'll get that off my chest. And I would have started Edouard today. I was surprised to see Mateta start. That's how. Yeah, so I'm being to be honest. I want Edouard to get a run of matches, but Mateta wasn't great today. Didn't get a lot of chances, but he did have a couple of shots, so which is more than Edouard got in the game. But again, he wasn't good today. And let's see what happens on next game against Newcastle. But he wasn't good today. He has to do better. And
then moving on to the bench, is only right to start with Edouard. And this is where your bias comes along, because you gave Edouard a 5 and you gave Mateta a 6. I don't believe that Edouard and Mateta's performance was that different. So why did he give him a 5? Apart from your bias.
I'll tell you why. Edouard had no shots, no created chances in the game. He wasn't in the game for long, 36 minutes, but he didn't do anything. I mean, Mateta at least had two shots.
But and created 2 chances. That's due to the formation as well, because
we could talk. Listen,
talk about 30 minutes.
Done this.
No, you talk about 30 minutes, Patrick. You talk about 30 minutes, but the last 15 minutes, we had no attacking style of play because we went to back 5 and it was so negative. We didn't really see much from Wilf in the last 15 minutes as well. Right. He struggled to get into the game. So do you think it's a bit harsh when you look at it? It's only 15 minutes that he's played. If he's played 36 minutes and half of that is with a formation that's so negative, he didn't really get opportunity. He had that one header he won, which he headed onto Jeffrey Schlupp.
You're very funny. When you want to defend someone, I just said they were both equally poor, but I said why give Mateta an extra?
We didn't give him a rating.
But the thing is, you say he didn't have a lot of time. How much time did he have against Spurs in his debut? How much time did he have?
Yeah, but that's different because
no. And he scored how many goals in that little?
No, I understand that, but in that system, we're looking to score goals. We're looking to score goals.
Time has nothing to do with it. If you can score, you can score, and he's proven he can score without a lot of time on the pitch. So again, they were both poor. Want Edouard to do well. Prefer Mateta. Told you Edouard should have started, but don't tell me about time, bro, because he's on the pitch enough to get a shot off and create a chance. He did neither one, so I'm not going to give you that one.
I think the formation didn't help him. That's where I stand with that. I'm with the back 4, and when we had the 3 going forward, he still contribute. He's not good in the air, but he still won that one header. I remember.
He won one header. One header.
Well, Mateta had 2 shots. Great. Nothing. They're both mediocre.
I said they both were bad. They were both bad, not mediocre. Exactly. 100%. So, yeah. 100%. They were both poor.
Now, this is the subs that, for me, probably cost us a game because we changed to back 5. Jordan Ayew, I gave him a 6. You gave him a 5. I didn't see much from him when he came on. Luca, giving him a 6 is very nice because he struggled with the midfield too. And Patrick, I don't think he should ever play in midfield 2 again because one, he doesn't have the legs for it. He's not. He's been good for us coming off the bench, but every time he does come off the bench, it's for our normal system, not with a back 5 and 2. And you saw it today when he came on. Look, you don't want to look too much at a bench player 15 minutes, but
So on Luka, right? I know it's something interesting. Again, the stats were not bad. 11 for 12 passing, 1 out of 2 accurate long balls, 1 out of 1 tackles, 1. He didn't cost us a game, but if anyone wants to focus on Luka came on the pitch, fine, that's no problem.
Yeah, scapegoat maybe. But, we can admit that.
Your point about pace is interesting because you're right. I don't know if you know. You have to go back if you want the whole game, but there's one point when as soon as he comes on the pitch, one of the players runs at him. He runs like 5 yards back to kind of like create the space, and the guy just stopped and he made a sideward pass because he's trying to. Because he has the leg. He's trying to make.
Yeah, he knows that as well.
He knows, right? So he knows it. But you're right. That's what we said. D, we got to get 2 midfielders. If Hughes is not injured, whatever. If Jarrell's not going to be in it, you cannot have Killian Phillips and Katie Rodney as your only and Luka as your 3 midfield options. It's not going to work. So you're absolutely right. He should.
I disagree with that though. I disagree with that because it has worked so far. It has. I don't think it works with a back 5. If it's a midfield and Luka's a holding and he's got 2 other players to support him, yes, but I don't think it works with a 2 midfield. But let's see. Maybe he was just on good form for the 4 games that we had at the start of the season, and when he has come on, I don't know.
But again, Luka's not the reason we lost. We didn't get the 3 points today. Just to be clear, he doesn't get a great rating, but he's not the reason we didn't get the 3 points.
Exactly. And then finally, Tyreek came on. He didn't start the game. He wasn't fit enough to start. We both gave him a 5.
You know what? Watch that harsh, back, though. He should have got maybe less. He was at fault for that goal. He didn't pick it. He had no one to pick up at Olise. I'm looking at it again. So, but again, I think there's something wrong. I think he's injured. Personally, I think that's why he didn't start because
that's why he didn't
start. Not start him. So if he didn't start him and he brings him on, is that on the manager? We could do that too. We could blame the manager. But like I said,
finally, you're recognizing what I've been saying for the last 3 hours.
That's not true. I did say through the previous stream that we can blame him, but we also have to give credit to the other team. We don't do that enough. But yeah, Tariq was not great tonight. But again,
I think it was that fault with the goal. But look, overall, he seems a bit fatigued as well. And I do feel for him because we rely heavily on him. We do. Our second option is no way near.
We don't have a second option.
Our second option, if our second option is Joel Ward, it just shows. We've got a lot to do till we've got a complete squad. But look, that's our player ratings as always. We want to hear from you, so comment down below what you guys have given to the players based on that performances, whether you agree or disagree with us. Like and subscribe if you're new here, as it helps us out massively. Thank you to Patrick and thank you to you for watching. And until next time, up the Palace.